Hi Leo, here is your career reading. It's something new that I thought I would try because obviously not everybody is always interested in love and relationships. It is called the horseshoe spread and each card has its own position. I am still getting to grips with this particular spread, so just bear with me on that. And obviously, if you wish to leave a comment, whether in regards to whether you like this or not, then that would be great. So, in the middle we have the signifier card, and you've got the Eight of Wands. Now, when this card is reversed, it can talk about there being no communication coming through. Or it can be communication coming through, but with some thorns attached to it. The Eight of Wands is the card about communication, okay? So it could be that you are waiting to hear news in regards to something within your workplace or even in regards to a new job. Or it may very well be that the communication that is going on within the workplace is more on the negative side. As I said, has some thorns attached to it maybe, okay? So you may need to be a little bit careful if that is the case. It could be that there's a lot of gossip going on. Now, in your near past position, we do have the Hierophant and it is reversed. It's number 5 in the major arcana. And it can talk about there being a lack of balance within your place of work. Also, a lack of honour, maybe. It can talk about how people may very well, as I said, with this Eight of Wands, to be careful, because it can talk about how people could be saying things, maybe about you in regards to your work. Spreading gossip or lies, speaking untruth, giving misinformation, but doing so for their own means, okay? It could be that somebody wants your position within the workplace. It could be any number of reasons, but there is somebody in your environment, and although this is in the near past, it's still impacting now. Somebody in your environment at work who is maybe not speaking the truth about you, maybe giving some form of misinformation, or even somebody in the workplace that always insists that they are right and you are wrong. So there could be a clash of personalities here, or a clash of viewpoints with somebody. In your present position, we've got the Ace of Swords here. Now, the aces always talk about new beginnings, okay? The swords is to do with our thoughts and our thinking and our communication. So it could very well be, because what this means is, it means you're going to gain clarity on something. It's like where there's been this fog and you haven't maybe really understood what's been going on, or you may not have even known 100% that somebody was doing this behind your back. But here we see you're going to get a better understanding of this situation, and you're going to gain clarity now on exactly what has been going on, because somebody is not being entirely fair within the workplace, or as I said, is in some way saying things or doing things against you, but for their own gain. But you're going to gain clarity now. You're going to start to see exactly what is going on. Now, in the positive position, we've got the Tower card here. It is Major Arcana and it is reversed. Now, the Tower card, it talks about the avoidance of a disaster. It talks about the avoidance of the complete crashing down or bringing down of something. But although it can talk about the avoidance of that, also attached to this card when it's reversed is the fact that there is going to be changes being made. And they may not be changes that you particularly like or want. And it could be that in some way you have seen the change coming, you feared the change coming, and you may even be trying to resist the change. Now, there's more than one person in this card, so it could be talking about overall change within your place of work and how a number of you are not happy about this change and are trying to resist this change taking place. Now, here we have the Five of Wands. So we've got more fire energy here, and you being Leo are a fire sign. Now, the Five of Wands, it is reversed, and the 5 in any suit is not particularly good. It can talk about arguments and conflict. When this card is reversed, it talks about how there's been conflict around you, okay? There's been conflict within the place of work. Maybe there's been arguments, maybe there's been battles, maybe there is a group of you that are all trying to get your point of view across, but nobody's listening to the other person. It may just be that there is some struggles going on within the place of work. But when this card is reversed, it can talk about how those external struggles and conflicts may very well be impacting you internally. That you may now be having some internal struggles and issues in regards to this job. And you may not be very clear in your own mind about what is going to happen or indeed what it is that you want. But we see external crap basically going on within the workplace that is having an impact on you internally. Now, up here, we've got the King of Swords. Now, the Swords is air energy, okay? So, Aquarius, Libra, and Gemini. It doesn't have to be gender specific in these general readings, and it doesn't even have to be an air sign. But the King of Swords, and it's fallen in your house position or like your environment position. But the King of Swords talks about somebody who he's trying to gain clarity. The King of Swords, when he's upright, can talk about somebody who's over-analysing something. He can be quite critical of other people. and he can be quite judgmental. It can also talk about somebody that is very overpowering within your place of work. It could be a boss, or it could be somebody who thinks they're the boss, somebody who wants to take charge. And as I said, they could be being quite critical or over judgmental about you. I think this King of Swords is very much linked to the Hierophant that I was talking to you about. Now, here we've got the Sun card. It is reversed and it is a major arcana. It's the most positive card in the major arcana, and even though it's reversed, it's still not really negative. What this card talks about when it's reversed, if you think of a bright sunny day and a cloud comes over and it blocks that sunlight out, eventually you know the cloud's going to move and the sun's going to come back out again. Well, that's kind of how this is. It may very well be that within your place of work at the moment, you feel there's this dark cloud hanging over you, or maybe a group of you. But you must know that it's not going to be permanent. It may be that you decide to leave your place of work, or whomever is causing these struggles or conflicts may very well be, may leave the place of work, or is going to be resolved, is what I'm trying to say. The Sun card, when it's reversed, is not a permanent situation. It's just a temporary thing, okay? Now, the outcome is the Devil card. When the Devil card is upright, it talks about feeling chained or tied to someone or something, and thinking that those ties cannot be broken. When this is reversed, it talks about having broke the tie, being able to recognize that you are not tied to this situation. I think, Leo, definitely there is either one person or a group of people. Let me rephrase that. I think there is one person in the workplace that is causing a lot of change and conflict. Aside from that, there may also be somebody who is not really being overly friendly or speaking the truth in regards to you and what you do within your place of work. All of this is creating this cloud. It's like this black cloud hanging over the place where you work at the moment. And like I said with that Eight of Wands, I don't think that's talking about a lack of communication. I think it's talking about communication that does have thorns attached to it. But you're going to come to realize this month that you don't have to be tied to this situation anymore. That you can, if you please, you can leave this job. Preferably leaving this job with another job to go to, rather than just walking out and having nothing. But you're going to realize that you don't need this job. that there are other jobs out there and there are other things that you can go and do. So, Leo, that does conclude this career reading. I think you need to watch your back in regards to one person. But I think overall there is a lot of change and a lot of conflict going on within your place of work. As I said, there is this cloud hanging over at the moment, but you have to know that that cloud is not temporary and that you are not tied to this job, okay? So, as I said, it is something new I'm trying with these career readings, so if you wish to leave me a comment, that would be great. Thank you so much for watching. Take care. Bye.